from the shadows deep, where the mind and body meet. Every heartbeat pounds like thunder, a call to awaken, no time to wonder. Push the limit, feel the fire, one step closer, climbing higher. Warriors unleashed, breaking chains, chasing dreams, the power's in you. Let it scream, get inspired, stand tall, fight the beast, champions for life, warriors unleashed. Every scar's a story, every drop's a fight, sweat and soul under the light. Strength's not given, it's earned in flames. Through the storm, remember your name. Push the limit, feel the fire, one step closer, climbing higher. Warriors unleashed, breaking chains, chasing dreams, the power's in you. Let it scream, get inspired, stand tall, fight the beast, champions for life, warriors unleashed. Push the limit, feel the fire, one step closer, climbing higher. Warriors unleashed, breaking chains, chasing dreams, the power's in you. Let it scream, get inspired, stand tall, fight the beast, champions for life, warriors unleashed. Warriors unleashed. Warriors unleashed. Warriors unleashed.
Sims Nation, welcome one and all to Warriors Unleashed right here on WANT Radio and live streaming this evening on YouTube. And if you're joining us on YouTube, which I see some of you are already, jump in on the live chat and say hello and ask your questions and get some answers like, what's a fire and why does it, what's the word? Burn? All right, guys. Hey, welcome again to Warriors Unleashed. And today we got a great show for you. We got a very, very special guest on the program. And we're going to be talking about taking the first step. And that might sound simple. Every topic we do kind of sounds simple on the surface, but when you really dig into it and you dive deeper in, it gets not so much complicated, but it becomes a lot more involved. And our guest today is a fellow DDPY Warrior, instructor, FastTrack coach, and recently Transformation University graduate, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the one and only Jennifer Thomas. Welcome to the program, Jennifer. How you doing?
Hey, Pat, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing
All
this
right.
evening?
Great. Great. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great show. I know it. We got the neon lights shining bright behind you. We're all smiles this evening. It's been a long day for me. I don't know. How about what's your day look like today? I mean, it's a Friday. So
It is. It is. So I don't know, my day starts at 4:40 every
Mhm.
day.
Nice. All right.
And, it starts with some me time, a walk, a good walk,
There you go.
some coffee, 1 cup. And I get my brain going too. I do puzzles early in the morning.
Ooh.
Kind of gets my brain
Interesting.
going. I do that while I drink my coffee.
All right. All right. Well, it's interesting because one of the reasons I asked was to find out what was the first thing you did. So when you first get up in the morning, your first step, interestingly enough, might be to go for a walk.
No, the coffee's first.
Oh, the coffee comes first. Coffee comes first. All right.
Yep, the coffee
All
comes
right.
first. The first thing I do is drink 20 ounces of water. That's
Nice.
the first thing that I do
Yeah.
before the coffee, before all the things. Because I mean that's just what your body needs, right?
Right.
Like you've been in the bed all night and you haven't had any hydration for a long time, so that's what your body needs. So that's what I give it first.
Now
Then
my wife thinks I'm a serial killer because my first step in the morning is as soon as my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I get some, I move some things aside but
yeah.
I do give my wife a kiss before I do anything else. But I go straight for the shower. And I do acknowledge I'm a weird guy. All right. I'm very strange. I have strange habits and things. So I don't turn the light on in the bathroom. I keep it dark. I turn the shower on. And then I sit at the bottom of the shower. And we have a little seat at the back of the shower that you can sit on. I don't sit there. I sit in front of it. And I let the water roll across my back and my head, and then I just put my head on the seat. I know it's weird. I know it's crazy, but I need to wake up slowly.
Okay.
I'm not a rise and shine. I'm not a morning guy, which is
Ah,
shocking
okay.
that I have a 6 a.m. show. But I wake up at 5 for that 6 a.m. show, which gives me an hour to wake up. Right? I couldn't get up at 5:50 and do a show at 6.
Yeah, so I get up. If I have something I have to do, a solid, I want like almost a full hour before my walk, and then my walk is 45 minutes.
Right.
And then I got to get ready for whatever it is I got to do. Like after all that, and I love getting up early because very few other people are up.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I own the world at that time, right?
Right.
My house is quiet, everyone's quiet. And as soon as I get back in from the walk, it's like the scramble to make sure the boy gets ready in time so I can get him to school in time so I can get to work on time. So that hour in the morning, like I learned a long time ago that if you need to create more time in your day, a way to do that is on the front end, not the back end.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's just interesting people's morning routine. And it's nice to have a morning routine. I'll say this because when you work nights, you don't get a morning routine. You have like an afternoon routine.
Right.
And that's a totally different deal.
Yeah.
But I love waking up and it's still dark out.
Me too.
I like getting up before the sun. Like I said, I'm still not a morning person. I'm still not overly pleasant, which a lot of people find hard to believe, but I'm not. I'm kind of moody in the morning. But we are
I've never
talking.
seen you moody. I've never seen you moody.
No, a lot of people haven't. So when they do get a chance to witness it, it's kind of shocking. Like people kind of they kind of back. Yeah, it's kind of weird. My
Who
work
is that guy?
my work got a taste of it recently. Where I am because since I kind of run security where I am for two different locations, so every now and then I have to deal with things and deal with people.
Right.
And this one of the ladies that worked there just had never seen me really come down on anybody, and didn't think I had it in me. So when it happened, it was kind of she just backed away. But I'll give you a little rundown of my day here. So Jennifer kind of was like, "When do you sleep?" And it's like, "When I have time. That's when I sleep." And which is not true. I mean, like I try to get 6 to 8 hours every night.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard when it depends on if it's too hot. I have trouble sleeping. If I'm in a lot of pain for whatever reason, I have trouble. That's why I had my shoulder replaced. To be 100% truth here. The doctor and I both agreed we didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have my shoulder replaced. I didn't care about how much pain I was in. I was too scared about losing everything that I'd built to that point because your shoulder is just such a massive deal. So I was like, nope, not doing it. And and I met with the surgeon. It got all the way up to the surgeon, and I think they kept thinking that somebody's going to convince me to do it. And the surgeon was like, no, we're not doing this. You're only 40, whatever. And he's like, no, we're not doing it. And then he goes, well, how are you sleeping? And I'm like, well, I have to sleep whenever I can because I get maybe 2-3 hours max
Oh yeah.
at a time. And he goes, nope. And let's schedule you. Here's a pamphlet. Let's talk about this. He's like, you can't live like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, so sleep was huge. But I got up this morning. I slept in all the way to almost 7. I slept in almost to 7,
Ooh,
which
that's a treat.
that's crazy considering like when I was a teenager, I could sleep till 2 days later.
So I never did.
No?
Like I was that kid when I slept over my friend's house at like 6:30 in the morning. My eyes popped open. I'm in someone else's house. I can't move. I can't talk. Everyone else is sleeping. I'm like just lying there, like not wanting to wake my friend, but hoping to God my friend would wake up. Like I just always have been. I mean, don't get me wrong. In college, there were definitely plenty of days where I slept in.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm a morning person. Right now, I'm up past my bedtime.
Right. She's doing this for the Sims Nation right now. But yeah, so I can't sleep in anymore. Like
Yeah,
there's only one day I don't set my alarm for. I actually set an alarm this morning. I planned to sleep till 8. Didn't happen. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sleep in. The only day I don't is a Sunday morning, and that's only if I'm not singing or I have to be there early for whatever reason. Like this Sunday, I'm one of the readers, so I have to get up there. I got to go in a little bit early to read everything beforehand. But if I don't have anything to do, we stay up late, and then I sleep in, and I still don't think I very rarely ever make it to 8 a.m. Even if I go to bed at like midnight,
Yeah.
I very rarely
Yeah.
will ever make it. But we did our honest review show this morning of WWE's 1990 Survivor Series. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people joined in, and I appreciated everyone that jumped on. And then it was straight to Power Cuff weight training. Today was back and biceps day today, and which is kind of funny. The 2 times that Jennifer reached out to me, the first time I'm in between sets doing my back and biceps, and the second time I had just started my DDPY workout later in the day. So she happened to catch me the 2 times I was training today. But it was nice. I got to eat a little bit earlier than usual for my window, which gives me a nice little fast leading into tomorrow, which I will need because I am going to let loose tomorrow. Very well deserved. And by the way, tomorrow, for those of you that haven't been following along with me talking about it, is my 45th birthday.
Wait,
And
what?
yeah. What? Wait. What do you mean? I
I know.
wait. Were you talking about what? Like you're 45 or like I?
No, it's your birthday?
Yeah.
I
I.
mean, all of it, all
It's
of it.
you know what? There's a lot of things going on tomorrow. Tomorrow apparently per DC, tomorrow's Batman Day, which hello,
How fitting.
every day is Batman Day. And number two, WWE is doing WrestlePalooza tomorrow, which is the first PLE ever on ESPN. And I will not be watching it live because of my birthday, but I will watch it Sunday. But yeah, it's just been crazy, but it's crazy good. Like I like being busy now. I like having a lot of stuff going on. I took the day off of work today, which is a rarity. I don't do that very often. But we talked about Jennifer. You are a DDPY, I believe, level 2 instructor, correct?
Yes.
And you are a FastTrack coach.
Yep.
I am not a level 2. I am working on my level 2. If I can get people to show up so that I can film the level 2 workouts, because I was my family's always my patsies.
Right.
So I was training my wife and my sons, and Hayden was like, I really want to see you with other people. See how you are with people that you're not related to. And I don't know if I'd be any different, to be honest. But
I don't think so.
yeah,
I mean,
I am who I am. I to quote Popeye, and I train the way I train. There's not a whole lot of difference there, but
but they know the program, right? That's a different thing too. They know the
right,
program.
right,
So if you get different people in a room, maybe you're a little more diligent on your cues or your mods
right,
because they don't already know.
right.
So
I get that. I think my thing, and I'll be honest here. So my thing is that I'm very critical of me. And so like if I could like today, I was just training myself and my son Owen, and we did a 45-minute workout. If I call something wrong, nobody tells me I called something wrong. Like I will be the first one to be like, "Oh, come on." Like I get down on, I don't care who I'm training. And I don't really outwardly be like stupid. But inside my head's just going, "Get it together."
yeah,
Get it together.
yeah,
But as a fast track coach, you and I'm sure you've gone through this as well. There's a lot of questions when you first start working with a client, and there's a lot of doubts. At least on my end, there's been a lot of doubts of whether they can handle the program. They may not know all the details of what to expect. They're just seeing what you've accomplished, right? And they just want to do what you did. So one of the interesting things I like to know from you as a fast track coach is how do you get started with a client? Like, what are some of the things that you ask of them? And maybe what are your expectations of a client that's brand new to the program?
yeah. So, outside of the assessment, where you go through the questions that you need to know about them and their physiology and their habits so that you can make sure you're gearing the program right. It's really an overview meeting as well of like this is what's going to happen in the next 90 days. Because I'm really big on aligning expectations.
Right.
I think that if you set that ahead of time, people, if someone signs up, they want to be held accountable, right? And they want to be compliant. So it's important to make sure that they know what compliance looks like. And the biggest thing for me, the biggest non-negotiable, there's a few, but the biggest one is honesty. And because I'm not here to judge anybody, right?
Right.
So there's no reason not to be honest. And even if you think you can get away with it, it's going to show in your results. So it doesn't, there's just no reason not to be honest. But that's a big thing that we talk about in that first meeting when we get started. What the expectations are, what they can expect from me, just the same as what I can expect for them. I'll let them know how I can be reached, when's an appropriate time to reach me, politely set some boundaries on what's not okay,
Right.
in terms of being available to them.
I
Just set some expectations.
I tend to, for me, I basically am like, look, texting is the best way that you can reach me,
Yeah.
and you can text me 24/7. But my thing is like, just don't always expect that I can respond 24/7. Right?
Right.
We do have, like you said, you do have to kind of have some boundaries here and everything like that. But it's very interesting. Like, I give my clients a spreadsheet, and I do a lot of the same, have them do a lot of the same things that I do, and I still to
Hmm.
this day do, for to kind of get them accountable for themselves. And one of the biggest things that a lot of them tend to not do for a while is you have all this detailed information throughout the spreadsheet. So you got what's your DDPY workouts for today? Did you complete them? Right? Did you get all the way through? What was your nutrition like? What was your calories in? What were your active calories out? Did you do any other exercises like weight training or walking or running? How many steps did you take in a day? A lot of little details,
Okay.
and a lot of it's really just to get you in the habit of tracking everything that you're doing. Now, once you're away from me, what you do is up to you, right? Because
Right.
I'm kind of Captain Overkill, obviously, but all of that information helps me,
Right.
right? And then at the end of that, there is a notes section where you are free to write down anything about how you feel, how
Hmm.
you feel about your workouts, how you feel about this, how you feel about that, or are you disappointed with this? Are you happy with this? Did you eat a little bit more than you thought you would? Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like the way I'm doing things. Put that in the notes. I don't care.
Yeah.
Um, and people will not write things in the notes because they don't want me to see what they're really thinking or feeling in that moment. And so there's just these blank note sections. And I literally would take out my 2021 spreadsheet and I'd show it to them and I'd say, look at the note section. And they'll look. I said, is there a blank note section anywhere in there? And they're like, no. I said, because every day there is something that you can put there. When you're doing DDPY and you first get started, you might not be able to do 90% of the diamond dozen. Like, I needed to
Right.
modify everything. There's very little that I could do well. I thought I was until later, and you're filming all this and you're like, oh, wow, that was bad. Well, every day my goal was to get better at one thing, just a little bit
Hmm.
better. And so in my notes there would be like, I felt like I opened up a little bit more on twisting lunge, or I felt like I got a little bit deeper into my push-ups or something like that, just
Yeah.
something that lets you know you're moving in the right direction. And then if you have a bad day, you write down, I had a bad day. Right. And even if it's something as simple as that, as a coach, you and I can follow up on that and
Hmm.
be like, all
Yeah.
right, talk to me about the bad day. Right. So it's just, there's all these little things that people can do. And they're not necessarily things you need a coach to do. You can do them right now. It's all about documenting. Is that a word?
Documenting.
It is now. Right. It's
Don't say conversate. Don't say
conversate.
conversate.
What?
Do not.
Why? Who says conversate?
Oh, so many people do, and it drives me
Do they
nuts.
really? You're the first person
For the
I've heard.
record, folks, it's converse.
Yeah, converse. Yeah, yeah. I've never heard conversate before.
Maybe it's a
Oh,
South Florida
apparently
thing.
my wife says it. My,
Ah,
my
no.
wife says it at work. No, bad wife by accident. Oh, sure.
Okay. Okay.
All right. But anyway, no, like a lot of what this show is just giving you ideas,
Right.
because and a lot of the stuff we had to come up with on our own because there wasn't
Hmm.
anybody to show us or tell us. And I want to get you kind of I got a few questions for you before we get to that. What do you think about that? Um, did you feel maybe when you got started on your journey, did you feel like there was enough help and information out there specifically for you and what you were dealing with?
So There's two things about me when I approach something.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you if there's a plan in front of me, I follow it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I started, a friend of mine advised me, like, well, check out the Diamond Dozen first and then do this workout first. And that's going to give you an idea if you like this program. And then from there, you can kind of do whatever you want. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, 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 that's not going to work for me. Don't tell me I can do whatever I want.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, well, then you can go into the app and choose a program. And once I had a program, that's it. I was just going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing about me. Like, give me a plan and I'll do it. But the other thing about me is that I'm pretty heads down, right? I'm just going to put my head down and do the work.
Right.
And so I didn't worry about other resources. I didn't look for any. I didn't think, it didn't even occur to me to do anything other than follow that plan that was in whatever program I chose.
Right.
Um, but because I didn't really talk much with anyone about it, I also didn't pay attention to like recipes. I didn't pay attention to DDP TV. Like I really was laser focused on that structured program.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think about anything else. Looking back, I know I would have liked to have a person guiding me differently. And you talk about not knowing you're doing something wrong until you film it. So I've now been doing DDPY for like almost a year and a half. I've decided to sign up for level 1 certification. I had a mentor. I sent her my video that I was going to send in for approval. And she was like, your push up form is kind of wrong. And I was like, a year and a half later, I guess. you know, but you're right. You don't know until you see it or someone sees it. So just thinking of that one little piece, that if I had someone alongside all along, I could have been doing that push up better,
Right.
right?
I
All along.
I talk to a lot of people. Push-ups. I worked really hard on my push-ups. Once I got off my knees, 300 pounds and push-ups don't go together very well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times I'll see guys. They'll be like, "Oh, check out! I can do 30 push-ups, whatever," and then they do them, and you're like, "You did like 15 because you're only doing like half push-ups."
Right.
And I'm like, let's get a little deeper into that push-up. And so that's why I like, I bought bear blocks a while back. I love bear blocks, or you can use,
You like them?
yeah, or you can use, I don't like push-up bars. I don't like those because they just dig into the palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use dumbbells, but anything that elevates your hand off the ground by even just maybe 4 inches and allows you to get a full deep stretch
Mm-hmm.
on your chest as you go down and then back up. That is a full push-up, right? And if you're gonna,
And
yeah,
I have never used anything, just palms on the floor. But when I started, I couldn't do one.
right.
And when I first started, this lightning bolt is right over my head. I see.
'Cause you gotta go the other way.
I gotta go the other way. I gotta go the other way.
There you go.
When I first started, and the Diamond Dozen, like I never even tried on my knees because I was delivered on that video a regular push-up. So from minute one, that's what I was gonna do. Again, you give me a plan and I'm gonna follow it, right?
Right. Makes
Right.
sense.
So now I don't even know what my form would look like on my knees. I have no idea.
Well, I had to go back to being on my knees, I'll be honest. So, as stubborn as I am, I did have to be smarter during my recovery from the shoulder replacement. And so
Yeah.
when I was able to start doing anything that even resembled a push-up, it had to be on my knees. And
Sure.
I had to let my ego go, because I was before surgery. My push-ups were pretty good. I think I got up to 8, 10-second push-ups in a row, which my goal has been 10,
Yeah.
which I'm right there. I'm right on the cusp of 10. I'm at like 9, and I get down, and it's like, ugh. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I had to go back, and it was like I could do one. I could do like 1 3-second push up once I was able to. I would do one
Yeah.
3-second push up, and then I would just have to just hold it there until whoever was leading the workout was done, and that was it. And then I had to
Yeah.
work myself back up from there. But yeah, it's very interesting. All the little things that you don't when you first get started, you don't think that your form could really be it can't really be as bad as all that. It's like, oh, I'm hanging in pretty well. Yeah, I got a yoga block, but everyone starts somewhere. And I remember, like, I had the yoga block as tall as you could get it.
Okay.
There's all the different ways you can twist the yoga block. I had it tall to do like twisting lunge,
Right.
or if you're doing standing split. I got 2 tall yoga blocks.
Yeah.
And my foot's maybe like 6 inches off the ground behind me.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I'm thinking, I'm crushing this,
Right.
you know?
Well, I did all my workouts in front of a mirror.
No.
Um, but sometimes your head is down, right? So and then if you try to look up, then you throw yourself off if you're in like a balanced position or something, right? So at least when my head was up, I was checking my form all the time. But yeah, yeah. But then something changes, right, Pat? Like then I don't know, maybe you're in like Road Warrior 3 and you
Oh.
don't feel like you're very flat,
Mm-hmm.
but then you look back and you're like, man, I'm actually pretty flat.
Yep.
Right? That perspective changes when you think you underestimate yourself
Yep.
sometimes.
I had that with hood ornament not that long ago. Like, I
Yeah.
never felt like I was getting my foot up very high, and that I was, like you said, like kind of flat across as you're
Hmm.
doing it. And when I'm training, I kind of go at an angle, and my family's and they're in front of me, and I'm kind of angled off, and I
Yeah.
can kind of glance to the right and see the hall mirror if I'm looking at my form or what I'm doing at that time. And I had gone into hood ornament, and I kind of glanced over, almost fell over because I glanced over, but I looked over, and my arm's straight, and I should have known my arm was straight, and it was
Yeah.
fully straight, and my leg was well over my head, and I'm almost flat across. And I was like, wow, like I didn't know I was doing that. And same with
Yeah.
roundhouse. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't realize how well they're doing with roundhouse until they actually see it.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
Because what you see and what you feel don't always align,
Yeah.
right?
I
It,
had a buddy who I was trying to help them with weight training.
hmm.
And I was like, okay, this works this muscle, this works this muscle. And he basically came to me because he did incline bench press and he did flat bench press. They work 2 kind of different things. A flat is your main pecs, and then your incline is your upper pecs, your upper chest.
Hmm.
He's like, I didn't feel a difference when I did them. And I said, that's kind of natural at first. When you get going, you will start to feel a difference. As I'll give you an example, I have my chest tattooed and I have my back tattooed. And when the tattoo artist is going from one side of your chest to the other, and he's going up and down, it all felt like it was all taking place in the middle
Mm.
of my chest, except for when it was way out here. But it all felt like it was right here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
where are you? Are we even doing the bat wings yet? Because this is terrible. And he's like, I'm like literally just right here. And we've already got the full outline down. I'm like, wow. Like, so things can feel like
Yeah.
they're very centralized. They can feel like you can do a just fold forward, just a standing fold forward. And because your hamstrings might be super tight that day, you don't realize that you're stretching those out, and also your lower back,
Hmm.
right? And everything is connected. Everything has a connective tissue to it where you stretch your legs, you help your back. You stretch your back, you stretch your legs, you stretch. If I stretch my bicep, that bicep isn't just the front of your arm here. It also comes all the way up into the shoulder where your bicep tendon connects. So when you pull your hand back and you stretch that bicep out, you're going to feel a lot better in your shoulder as well. I can tell you that from experience. But yeah, so it really, really interesting. I do want to get into some of these questions that I wanted to run by you as a FastTrack coach, as a DDPY instructor, and as we talk about taking the first step, right? So let's stick with health and fitness for the time being.
Okay.
And let's say I'm coming to you as a client, and I'm going to basically kind of give you some scenarios, and I would like to know what you think the first step should be for those specific scenarios. So I'm going to start with something very close to home for me.
Okay.
Overweight, doesn't matter what the weight is technically, but let's just say, like with me, my top weight was anywhere between 315, 325, something like that. Very, very big eating problem, eating addiction, could not stop, but I need help. So my main problem to me is food. So what would your recommendation be? What would a first step be as advice to me on where do we begin?
In your case, you say your main problem is food.
Right.
I think your main problem is somewhere in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
because it's your relationship with food that is the problem, not the food.
Right.
Right. So for me, I think the first step really always is identify the goal.
Yep.
Really drill down into the goal. And that really doesn't change from situation to situation, because you have to know what you're working toward. Right. And then from there, depending on the person, how we approach that goal is really what varies. Right. And so, but for you, we would start talking about mindset. The first thing we would talk about is, why do you always think that your whole plate needs to be finished? Or why is it that after having, dinner, you always feel like you need something more within an hour? Or whatever the specifics.
That's a long time.
12 minutes.
Right.
I mean, whatever it is, like we start in a case where someone really thinks that food is the problem. I would prefer to remove the food itself from the conversation and talk more about the habits and the mindset.
Right.
Personally, and I'm certainly no psychologist. For someone who has a real eating disorder, right? That's a totally different thing. I'm not qualified to help with that.
Right.
But if we're just talking about how can I change my habits so that instead of reaching for this, maybe I do a replacement habit that gets me closer to my goal.
Right.
And I'm really big on not identifying things as good or bad. I much prefer to identify them as, this is going to help me reach my goal. This is not.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Because good and bad comes with guilt and shame
Right.
and regret and depression, right?
Right.
But, I ate a handful of this Hershey Kisses. That didn't really help me meet my goal. I'm going to do better tomorrow. It's a very different conversation to have with yourself.
And even saying something is good, that's fine. Like, let's say you say, like, okay, so broccoli is good, right?
Right.
It's disgusting, but it's good.
I love it.
I like it in cream. I like cream with broccoli. But like there is such a thing as too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
So just because something's good doesn't mean you can take advantage of that thing, right?
Right.
So you can feel guilty about too much good, right? So I like that idea. I like that idea of no bad, no good. So I said I was kind of taken from me when I asked this question. So that was me. And when I was
Yeah.
in my early 20s, I had an eating disorder. I was bulimic, which is disgusting. And I went to therapy for
Mm-hmm.
it, right? So I went to someone that was qualified to help
Right.
me. And I sat there the whole time talking about my father for the most part, which is fine. But here's what I got out of it. I didn't get out of it that I was cured of my problem, because I wasn't.
Right.
All I did
Right.
was lie about whether I did it or not. But I came
Uh,
out of it and I realized something, and that is that it's not my dad's fault. I don't care how bad he was. It's not my dad's fault that I did what I did. It's my fault.
right.
I'm the one that has to deal with it. I'm the one that
Mm-hmm.
has to fix it. And so one of the things that I tell people is you have to have a moment in your life where you're tired of being or feeling out of control. And
Right.
you have to take control. And it can be something as simple as I'm not going to do this, or I am going to do this. That's taking control. How you maintain control is through discipline.
Right. Two really different things.
Yes.
So, and when I started mine was not a weight loss journey,
Right.
right? That is not why I started.
Yeah.
Um, I was losing strength, as we do as we get older, right? If we're not taking care of our bodies, we're just going to lose strength.
Yep.
And I think for women that happens a little more exponentially, especially in the upper body, right? So I'm a Boy Scout mom, and I was doing something with my oldest, and it did require some upper body strength, and it was going to be like it's a parent kid activity, and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it. And when I say I'm a Boy Scout mom, I mean, like, since he was 6, I'm in leadership, did everything, with him, did all the crafts when he was little, the high adventure as he got older. And all of a sudden I'm at this really cool event and I can't do it with him.
Right.
And he needs an adult to do it with him. And one of my best friends steps in and does it with him. And I was miserable that I couldn't do it,
Mhm.
miserable that I couldn't be part of something with my kid, right? That was like a quality time is my love language. So that was a thing we were going to share. And I couldn't do it. And a person that I don't even like, right? I don't even necessarily think he's the greatest person most of the time, came to me and said, if you want to try again, I'll help you. And then I was like, oh my gosh, even this jerk is, feeling bad for me. So, so, I mean, obviously I got over it for the day and went on, and because we were at a camp, we were away for a week. So I got over it for the day and I went on and we finished camp, and that was cool. And I came home and it just stuck with me. I was just miserable. I was miserable because I knew what was happening, and I knew I was kind of losing a piece of who I was because I was, wanting to be active with him. And it took me 6 months to have that moment, Pat. It took me 6 months of feeling bad for myself, not understanding or not acknowledging what I could do about it, just thinking that this is just part of getting older. I can't get this back. And then there was a moment, and it was like, no, I don't have to settle for this.
Right.
I have to do something different. I have to take control of this.
Yeah. I
That's
want
what it was.
I want to go to the chat real quick. I want to get your response to this. And it says, that's where I struggle. I'm usually a pretty gray person, but when it comes to food, I'm black and white. It's either good or bad. I love it so much. I've had to tell myself I hate it with a passion in order to get my eating and what I eat under control. Then build a healthy relationship with food after I convince myself of hating it. So that's got to be really difficult. So I still struggle with the idea of needing food, because let's be real, quitting, or you can't quit food. It's not like,
No.
if you're addicted to food, which I was addicted to food, I would go to a buffet, come home, and black out, and I would wake up, and it's like there's just an empty bag of Doritos and 3 Dr. Peppers next to me. I just went to a buffet. But you can't quit food. Like, you quit smoking, you quit drinking, you quit drugs. You can quit those things because you don't need any of them. But you have to eat. The food gives you what you need to accomplish what you need to accomplish. And
Right.
so, yeah, when I lost all my weight back in 2021, maintaining it is challenging. It's definitely challenging but when I started getting into that point where I wanted to build and I wanted to grow, build muscle and everything, that was scary because now I
because you had
have
to eat more.
Yeah, you got to eat more.
Yeah.
I had to eat carbs again.
Right. The first thing that we want to eliminate when we want to lose weight, now we have to add it back in.
Yep.
And it creates some anxiety, doesn't it?
Yep. I did find that I really like just taking a baked potato and just picking it up and just eating it straight.
Yeah. But there's still a difference between a baked potato and those 3 bags of Doritos, also carbs.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you said something important, and that I talk about with my clients too, the going back to the good bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So our body is a vehicle for all the things we want to do in life. And a vehicle needs fuel, and that's what food is meant to be. If you're talking about an actual vehicle, some are gas, some are diesel, right? Is one better than the other? It's just what that engine needs. Right. And that's what you alluded to. Like that my body needs a certain amount and type of fuel to allow me to do all the things that I want to do.
Right.
This day, this week, this month, this year. And that's part of the good and bad thing, right? That this may be okay for someone else. It's not going to give me what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So you can and I didn't have a food addiction, right? So you can speak to this part better than me. But when you start thinking about, okay, I'm going to have what I need to do the things I need to do, and then whatever other desire I have, I'm going to find a different, healthier way to fill it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I think so many people who might be watching here today or listening on WANT, a lot of people, when you talk about nutrition with health and fitness, most people tend to lean heavy into nutrition for losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the biggest issue. And one of the reasons why I was so glad the challenge was put aside and Transformation University kicked in was you happened to see some people that would do things to drop weight that were not healthy. Mm-hmm. And one of those things is turning to just not eating at all.
Right.
And there's a difference between starving and fasting. Okay. I'm not, because I can't sit here and put down fasting because I do it. I do intermittent fasting. But when I eat, I don't eat this tiny little, I'm not like a bird, just like, okay, I'll have one little thing. Like, I'll have multiple chicken breasts so as an example, let's see, today I had drumsticks, I had Quest chips, I had some leftover Italian sausage, I had some leftover turkey bacon, and a C4. And then as soon as I was done, I ran and I now had my fuel, and I ran in and I did my weights.
Right.
And that's a lot. That was actually a lot of calories I took. The sausage alone was quite a bit.
Yeah.
But you hear people, going on these 72-hour fasts and stuff is becoming very popular. It's hard to do. I did one 2 months ago. But the thing is, I didn't do one already starving. Right? Like, the whole purpose of doing a fast like that is not so much to lose weight. For me, I do it to reset the system, right?
Yeah.
To kick the body back into a state of ketosis and flush the system out, because I don't stop drinking water. In fact, I
Right.
drink more water on a fast. Flush
Hmm.
the system out, get all those everything negative out of the body, and start fresh. And I did an 89-hour just because of the timing of it. I didn't mean to. The timing just worked out. I did 89 hours, and then I got myself back to doing it. And ever since that point, I've been very consistent in cutting weight for tomorrow, which is essentially what I was doing, so that, any muscle I had built would be visible and wasn't
But,
hiding.
but but you know as well as I do that if you were to continue down that path,
Mm-hmm.
any muscle that you have built will be gone.
Gone. Right.
Will be gone.
Right. And I
Right.
still, I mean, again, like weekends, my wife makes this amazing protein smoothie that's blueberries, strawberries, bananas,
Mm.
whey protein, powdered peanut butter from Naked Nutrition. Awesome stuff. Almond milk. And it's so good. And it's like this big.
Amazing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So I'm not starving myself by any means.
Yeah.
And everything, and but still down 15 pounds,
Yeah.
leading into the ultimate cheat day, my birthday. Another next question I had for you, though, because you had brought
Okay.
up why you started
Yeah.
your journey, which is that lack of strength, which I think is something that's very dangerous nowadays, because we have so many people living inactive lifestyles,
Hmm.
more so than ever. Children are being brought up where they're spending 90% of their time awake on an electronic device. They're playing video games, they're watching TV, they're on their phones watching TikTok and whatever else they're checking out.
Yeah.
So if someone were to come to you with the same issue and say, I have no strength, I need to build strength, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, what is that first step, or what are some first steps that someone can take to start getting going in the right direction?
It's two things. It's movement and it's protein.
Okay.
It's movement and protein. So with that person, we're going to talk about, um, obviously we promote DDPY, right? We're all here because of what it's done for us, whatever our reason was. Um, so, and I believe in that program as one that meets you where you are, right? Someone who is coming to me because they've lost strength. I also use power cuffs and lift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not encouraging them to do that,
Right.
because boy are they going to be bummed pretty quickly. Right? You're telling me you're losing strength and I'm telling you to go lift weights. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to give you that boost of confidence early on that you need in order to keep going.
Right.
Because that's important too, right? Confidence is also a great catalyst. You go to someone for help. In our world, a fast track coach, in other realms, a trainer, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
you go because you don't have the confidence to get yourself started and get going.
Right.
It, it's a detriment to ask someone to do something that they're not ready to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no glory in like going gangbusters all the way. Find the place where you are and start there and build, right?
Right.
And it's not a race. And I would say to someone, you lost your strength gradually. You're going to regain it gradually.
True.
So let's take the time and let's focus and do the right things that you can do. I would rather see you do push-ups on your knees and do 5 of them than focus on doing the traditional hardcore push-up, but you can only do 1. Right, and balance that out. That would be the track that I would take with that person.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. And if I could add to that, something that Dr. Tom and I talk about a lot, Dr. Thomas Wayland, who is big with the BFR stuff with DDPY, and was
Hmm.
my mentor. I still call him my mentor to this day, but he was my mentor when I was doing my level 1. We became good friends. And we talk about this a lot. You don't build strength while you're training, right? When you're doing a bench press, you're not building strength while you're doing your bench press. You build
Right.
strength after you're done, when you're resting.
While you recover
Right.
from your bench press.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that requires good sleep. It requires eating properly, proper nutrition, and like I don't go straight from lifting to DDPY.
Right.
That's I'm not giving my muscles a chance to recover at all if I do that. So if I do my weight training, there's at least 2 hours in between, which my arms will, if I'm doing upper body, will feel like jello still
Right.
after 2 hours. But I use DDPY to help me recover, as
Hmm.
opposed to when I first started, I was using DDPY to help build that foundation of strength.
Right.
Right? And DDPY absolutely did that for me. I wouldn't be lifting weights today if DDPY hadn't given me that foundation. But
Same.
my favorite schedule for training, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, was when I was working nights. I hated that schedule. I hated working nights because I never saw my family. But as far as working out goes, this was my schedule. I would come home at 12:30, right? 12:30, that's 12:30 at night. So midnight, 12:30. I
Right.
would go straight to bed. And then I woke up whenever I woke up. I would eat and I would do a weight training session, and then I immediately take a nap. Because I never slept 6 or 8 hours. It was like 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
And then I would do my thing. And then this was after the surgery. And then I would hit the weights, and then I would immediately go to sleep. And I would use my break time at work to go change and do an hour DDPY at work. And I felt great. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
a good schedule.
sleeping immediately after working out may sound lazy, but man, your body instantly goes into recovery mode and
Hmm.
starts the healing process. That's where strength builds. That's where muscle grows.
Well, that's what sleep is. It's regenerative
Yep.
in all ways, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, sometimes I've done DDPY as a warm up to lifting.
Yes, I do that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's only maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I might do like 15.
Yeah.
And if I'm teaching DDPY, I'll even do like a little pre-workout of DDPY myself. So I'm good and limber
Right.
class, right? Getting
Right.
everything warm.
Yep. No, I
So
know that feeling. Yeah. But
especially my morning classes, like Saturday and Sunday, I teach in the morning. So I mean, I can wake up pretty stiff, right? I had a broken back, so I can wake up pretty stiff. That's one of the reasons when I get up in the morning, you ask me about my routine.
right.
While I'm doing coffee and puzzles, I'm also icing my back
Mm.
every morning, right?
Is it
So
is any of that because of how you sleep? As a reason I'm asking this, is any of this because of how you sleep?
the back,
Yeah.
because I broke it.
Oh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
I mean, I didn't break it. A Toyota Corolla broke it.
Right. Right.
I didn't break it.
Well, I asked this because uh, okay, so the smaller I am and the more limber I am, the worse positions I get myself into when I sleep.
Oh,
And
because you can actually move now.
yes. And
Yeah.
recently I'm back to, because I've dropped weight again, I'm kind of back to where I like to lay on my side, but then I like to pull my leg like all the way up to here
Yeah.
and drape it over the other one. So, and that's both sides. I'll lay on either side. And so I'm in this like half fetal position,
Yeah.
and I wake up in the morning and my back is just curved and I can't stand up straight. And so it takes me forever to get to, like, so I'll do pinfall into bridge and just go back and forth trying to open up, and then do cat lift and cat arch to try to get
Yeah.
that back. And even then, that's another reason why I kind of sit in the shower a lot, because it's just, I don't have to deal with it, you
With
know?
hot water to warm your muscles
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then it's maybe a good hour before that back finally gets
Yeah.
straightened. But it's because of how I sleep. That's really, if I could just sleep on my back, if I could just sleep like this, I'd be fine. I'd have no problem.
Well, my chiropractor, who, so interestingly, when I broke my back, obviously, is when I found my chiropractor, right?
Right.
And, but once I was cleared to exercise again, I came right back to DDPY, and then I never saw him again for that injury, right? As long as I do this, I mean, I've seen him, here and there for like, like a tune up of my engine, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that he explained to me is that part of the process of your body regenerating is there are parts of your body that rehydrate. And so as you rehydrate, your even like your spinal area is refilling with fluid.
Mm-hmm.
But that really is creating inflammation if you're out of alignment,
Right.
right? Because everything's expanding in there. So for me, the ice is kind of shrinking that back down in the morning. And what's interesting is, so I'll sit on my couch and, do my ice or whatever. And I'm in the same spot for a good 20 minutes. Without fail, every time I get up, there's like a pop on the side of my tailbone. And then I'm ready. No, it doesn't hurt.
Oh,
It feels
okay.
anything. It's like a release.
Okay.
Right. And then I'm ready for my walk.
Oh.
Right. So it's almost like that's what helps me reset
Oh, okay.
in the morning.
All right.
So
I still have my ice machine from my surgery. I actually have two of them. Because when I had the orthoscopic surgery, they gave me the ice machine. And then when I had my replacement, they gave me an ice machine. So
do you use
yeah, from time to time. It's not as,
Yeah.
the shoulder's fine. It gets sore more than, my right shoulder gets a lot more sore than my left, but there's no
Okay.
pain. I'm not in pain. And like, I always love giving people hope. And there's a lot of people out there that have to deal with these kind of things. It doesn't even have to be shoulder, but hip and everything. And they're all, everybody's scared in one way or another. And I posted a video today where, and when I posted on TikTok, I said, don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do.
Yeah.
Only you can do that. And before my surgery, I was told multiple times everything I'm not going to be able to do after the fact. One of them, I kid you not, all right, I am not joking. One of them was that there's a 70% chance I will not be able to tuck my shirt in behind me with the replaced shoulder. I'm going to have to get used to just doing it with my left hand, because putting your hand behind your back is challenging, because when they do a total shoulder replacement, they're also messing with every ligament and tendon and muscle in the area. That includes your rotator cuff. All of that's got to get taken apart. They put in the replacement parts, and then they put it all back together again. You are Humpty Dumpty on your arm. There was, you'll never lift more than 15 pounds over your head. Your mobility will probably never go past 130 degrees at best, right? So the last time I saw my doctor, where he basically was like, I really don't ever need to see you again unless there's pain. I had crossed the 15-pound, now I'm talking 15-pound total over my head.
Okay.
So,
Total.
Right. Because they're thinking you're lifting with like a barbell. So
Right.
while I was lifting 20-pound dumbbells
Right.
for shoulder presses. I'm up to 25 at this point. Um, and I was doing all of my push-ups. I could do chest flies without a problem, which he was concerned about. But I did all these things, and then he goes, "Well, let's see your mobility." And I go, "Okay." And I just took my arm, and I just went straight up in the air. And I'm like as close to 180 degrees as you can get on a replaced shoulder. And I'm like, maybe you can tell people there's always a chance. And I can put my hand, take it behind my back, and I can take it to the middle of my back. It's not as good as my left, but
Yeah.
that's something I wasn't supposed to be able to do. When I do reverse road warrior, I never put my hand straight down anymore.
It's always behind you.
I am touching my other thigh with my
Yeah.
right hand. I'm not supposed to be
Yeah.
doing that.
There's a fine line between preparing someone for some possibilities and then also imparting, self-limiting beliefs,
Right.
right?
I almost
I
feel
mean,
like doctors are trying to make sure you're not disappointed if you don't get somewhere.
like under promise and over deliver,
Right. Or like
right?
I'd rather you give me hope that something's possible than try to convince me that it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, and the the challenge for the doctor,
Mhm.
right? Let's give them a little bit of grace for a minute. The challenge for the doctor is when the patient comes back and says, "You didn't tell me I wasn't going to be able to do this."
Right.
Or "You told me I would be able to do this and I can't."
Right.
Right? So again, there's a fine line, right? What makes anyone a good practitioner of their trade, whether it's medicine or anything else, is navigating those nuances,
Mhm.
right? But it, it's a tough thing. It's a
Yeah.
tough thing for them. But I'm with you. I would rather be told, now it may be difficult for you to do this, but you should still work at that.
Right.
Like that's what I want to hear. That's what I would tell a person.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, to your point, my surgeon, who's the one who's telling me all this, was fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am if he didn't do a good job with the replacement. So I give him
Yeah.
so much credit. The thing that I was trying to talk to him about, I remember when we talked about it, was I can't be the only one, right? But I exist now, and my results and how I got
Mhm.
them. So if you got somebody coming in behind me that's doing the same, having the same issues, and you're like, "Look, if you do the right things, here's what's possible," right? Like you can take another
Yeah.
40-year-old and you're like, you don't have to fear what you're about to do. You can be like, "Look, here's another 40-year-old that went through the same thing you're about to go through. Here's what he's
Mhm.
doing today."
But think about that. Your surgeon is not doing many of these on a 40-year-old.
Right. They're
Most of
all
these he's
65
doing
and
on
older.
someone who's 60 and up, right? Now, but you and I live in a world, in this DDPY world,
Right.
where age is not a factor.
Mm-mm.
And we see people do things that they never thought they could do, or that someone told them they couldn't do. When I was at TU, as we were getting to know people, and there were some live workouts there,
Right.
and I was tasked with tasked. It's not like a chore. I love it. I was tasked with teaching a workout and to do one of the higher levels
Yeah, I saw that.
of workout.
Yeah.
And after that workout, I got feedback from people, and not just my workout, some of the other ones as well. I got feedback from people, man, when I'm at home, I always only do this level.
Mm-hmm.
But here I am at the PC doing a live thing, and I'm doing your workout and George's workout, and they were higher level.
Right.
And I said, well, when you're home, why do you only do, Blue Diamond?
Mm-hmm.
And one person said to me, well, I'll sit there and I'll watch the whole thing. And if I see something in it that I don't think I can do, I won't do that workout. I'll go find a different one.
Mm.
And I said, well, here you are in a live environment where you don't get the opportunity to preview anything, and you did it,
Right.
the whole thing, maybe a modification or two, right? But you did it. So that right there is the power of self-limiting belief,
Mm-hmm.
right? How
Yep.
much of a hold it can have over you. And so I said, stop looking ahead. Just pick a workout, maybe read the description if there's a certain area it highlights or a thing that it's meant to target, right? But stop looking ahead. Just run the darn workout.
Right.
And if you have to modify, modify. And even if you have to abandon it, okay. Abandon it and take it down a notch. But don't tell yourself you can't do it before you know if you can do it.
Right.
Like, you know. And but we see that every day, Pat, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we know the people, we see the stories, you know. I never thought I'd do this again, and here I am. I mean, it's incredible and
Yep.
inspiring.
Yep.
And maybe more doctors should be on the DP yoga group and see it too.
Well, and
You
it
know?
and it helps too because DDPY. I mean, I feel like I came in at the perfect time. I came in 2021, and the jacked straps at the time were
Yeah.
becoming more of a thing, and I didn't really understand what that was. And so I started doing research on what BFR was at the time.
Mhm.
And I've said this a lot of times. I don't feel anything in life is random. I think there's a meaning and a purpose behind everything in life. And
Yeah.
if if this comes too late, everything I've been doing over the last 2 years, I don't know if it's possible. Because my mindset wouldn't have been right. My physical state wouldn't have been right. Um,
Hmm.
too early, and I might miss the BFR, uh, the whole deal,
Yeah.
right? So timing is a lot of it, and because I looked up BFR, researched BFR, got to know Dr. Tom and talk with him about BFR,
Hmm.
became a believer in it,
Yeah.
and combining DDPY with BFR training with now the power cuffs, which are a much better product than the jack straps were, it's been immeasurably amazing for me in my recovery process.
Hmm.
I started, guys, for those of you who don't know, I started just by walking, first of all, just to get active. I did my own stand up workouts while in a sling, not able to move my arm for 6 weeks, and just waited for the doctor to give me the okay when the suture was good and everything was right to put a power cuff on and occlude it and just flex my arm. Just something as simple as flexing and doing an isometric hold. And then my other arm, I do the same thing. And just that alone helped the healing process.
Hmm.
Started me on the path. I started doing my physical therapy while wearing BFR, while wearing power cuffs, right?
Well, they
And
have their roots in PT, not in
yes,
fitness,
yep,
right? So, I mean, that makes perfect sense. I was wearing mine at the gym, and a young kid, I mean, maybe in his early 20s, looked at me and said, "Oh, I know about those." And I was like, "You do?" Yeah. Because most people at the gym are like, "What are those?"
right,
Right?
right,
But he's like, "Oh, I know about those." He was a baseball player, and he basically tore everything, right?
mm,
Pitcher, tore everything.
right,
And his physical therapist had him using cuffs.
mm-hmm,
And he said, it was brutal in the beginning, but it worked. And
right,
he was certain that he healed faster, of course, than he would have without them. And you've done the research. I'm certified. He's right. We know he's right, you know. And Dr. Tom has been sort of an unofficial mentor to me in that realm too.
right.
I did certify, but um, he's been involved with it for longer than I have. And so when I've had some little questions or, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? He's fantastic. He's so knowledgeable, and just a good guy.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I thoroughly believe in the cuffs. I love them.
I remember one of my questions I asked him was because I do ask a lot of questions. It's a good and a bad thing with me, but I'm very inquisitive. I want to know. I want to learn. I want to know as much as I can. I got a lot of books down here. I still have the Arnold Schwarzenegger encyclopedia for modern bodybuilding. I'm old school, but I remember asking him at one point, like, do I have to do what Dallas is doing? Like, do I have to do it the way they're doing it on the app? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Because it was, at first it was back and biceps, chest and triceps, shoulders and legs. And
Right.
it's kind of funny that I'm back to that schedule now because I do 6 days a
Right.
week. But then it was like 3 days a week and it was push-pull. And I'm like, do I have to do that? Like, it's not working for me. Like, it did it first. All right. But
Yeah.
anytime you pick up a weight, you work strength, you work muscle build, density, and you work muscle endurance. Anytime you pick up a weight. But how you lift it is going to matter on which one you emphasize.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like,
Mhm.
right now, the muscle endurance is great. I don't want to focus on that anymore. I need to build. And
Right.
so I need to slow things down. I don't want to do 6 exercises in 35 minutes.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, I need to take things at a much slower pace. I'm like, will the cuff still work if I don't do what they're doing? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to be in them for an hour.
No, I don't. I mean,
Right? Not straight, not occluded straight.
no.
I mean, you still, no matter how you're using them, there's a max number of minutes
Right.
that you can be occluded during a workout.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is that, there's this whole concept of microdosing,
Yeah.
microdosing exercise, microdosing this. The way we're trained to do power cuffs, it's 2 body parts, 3 exercises each, alternating,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you want to slow down, we do that, minimum 3 times a week to get the benefit of it, is what it has to
Right.
be, minimum 3 times a week.
Right.
But you can take an area every day
Mm-hmm.
and slow it down and be occluded longer,
Right. I
right?
do 2 body parts a day. Right. And I have my schedule set so that I'm not working the same body part 2 days in a row. So,
Right.
right. Because, like if you do back and chest on day 1 and then you do arms the next day, well, your biceps have been working doing any back exercise. You do pull downs, you do
Right.
rows, your biceps are working. So I have
Right.
it split up to where it's chest and triceps on day 1, which is tough to get used to. It really is. And then you got back and biceps day 2, shoulders and legs. I keep my shoulders separate, and then I start over. But I do
Mhm.
2 exercises per body part per day,
Right.
and that makes it so where my power cuffs are occluded between 15 and 20 minutes. I
Right.
I pop them, and I take a break as long as I need. I don't go 1 minute and count down. I let the arm recover and I get ready for the next thing. And that might be 2.5 minutes. It might be 3 minutes. I'm 45. I can take my time. Right. So
Yeah.
and it's worked. That's the thing. Like the results are what I go by more than anything else. And since doing this and
Right.
doing this new schedule, which I've been incorporating for 2 months now, I've added another inch to my arms. I've added 5 pounds per arm for all of my curls, 10 pounds per arm for each of my triceps exercises.
Mhm.
Chest is a little slower to develop because of the shoulder. Shoulder's a little slower to
Yeah.
develop, but and then I do a lot of reps for legs because I
Right.
don't go to a gym. So you guys, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to have a gym. So
No.
I just hold a dumbbell. I'll hold a 30-pound dumbbell and I'll just go. I'll do 30
Yeah.
to 50 reps, and then I don't have leg cuffs, so I just go until
But
they're
you
ready to
don't
fall
you
off.
don't have to. I mean,
No, you
so
don't.
the work with the cuffs, like even if you're wearing them on the arms, but you're working the legs, the effect is systemic.
Yeah, I keep them
So you
occluded for legs.
don't have to.
Yeah.
for me, like, so I'll vary it up. I'll change it up for my body,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'll go through a period where I'm lifting with just the arms. And then I might actually, like, by adding the leg ones in, I'm just taking the same thing and taking it up a notch
Right.
by using all four, right? And the thing is, cuffs aside, like the way you're doing, cuffs aside, 12 sets per muscle group over the course of the week,
Mm-hmm.
10 to 20 reps per set, depending on who you are. If you're a beginner, that might be 10 reps per set,
Right.
right? But if you can figure out to get in a total of 12 exercises, 12 sets per
Mm-hmm.
muscle, right? With 10 to 20 reps in a set, that's a good week.
Yeah.
That's a good week.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
just, and again, a lot of it, guys, comes down to, do your research, look up information. Information is, and don't get it uh, the fitness guys on TikTok and stuff. Like, we're a little bit different. We're not influencers. We
Right.
legitimately want to help people here and inspire people. But influence, a lot of them are dangerous because they're going to tell you, like, oh, don't do this. Just do this if you want your arms to grow. And it's some wacky, crazy thing that you could do very easily just doing a basic movement, right?
Right.
You want to work your upper chest? Do this. And it's like, I can just do a incline bench press and I can work
Right.
my upper chest. Um,
Right.
and so, like, and because, your chest, you say chest day. So I split it upper, middle, lower. And I know how to work the biceps so I'll do dips for lower chest and triceps. I do an
Yeah.
incline overhead for triceps and a press down. So I do those 3 movements for triceps. And for chest, it's upper chest incline presses, basic flat chest press, and I do a cable crossover. But I don't cross over. I bring it like this,
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
low like that. And
Yeah.
that has just been working absolute wonders. And I do the same thing with biceps because there's 3 heads of your bicep,
Right.
right? And then there's the brachialis, so when you do a palms sideways movement, that's the brachialis. That's,
Uh-huh.
that's, so then you've got, this movement will change it. Coming in will change it. Your
Right.
elbow being here. I do not recommend doing this though.
Right.
Put something here for
Yeah.
a preacher curl. That's coming from a guy with shoulder problems. So
But even your grip, because that was one of the things I discussed with Tom was that, so at some point, you're feeling stronger,
mhm.
and I'm now at the point where instead of being at 30% of my 1 rep max, some of these exercises I'm like 40 to 50%
Yeah,
of my 1 rep max.
yeah,
And I understand how it works, and so I'm realizing that, okay, there's a point, there's a diminishing rate of return when you get too heavy,
right,
right? You no longer are getting the same gains. Like, it's not doing any damage to you, but it's pointless.
right.
If you're just trying to lift heavy, then just lift heavy without the cuffs.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's ego at that point.
At that, right. And
Right.
so he goes, well, okay, you don't want to take the weight up anymore and you enjoy the exercises you're doing, change your grip, you know? Go a little further in, go a little further out. That's
Right.
going to work a little different area. And you can do things that way. So I couldn't do a push up when I started, right? Now I'm working on the pull up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually hit the pull up. I
Nice,
hit the pull up.
nice.
So now I'm working on consistent pull ups. So I'm using the machine where you have the assist.
Yeah,
And that machine allows you to grip this way or this way,
yep,
right? Well, you got to understand, what are you working depending on how you grip?
right.
And what are you pulling with? Are you pulling with the biceps or are you pulling with the back, right? Like, which
Mm-hmm.
one are you working with?
Right.
Because everything has a primary and a secondary,
Yep.
right? But here's the danger of doing the research. One of the things that I'm learning as I'm getting more and more educated is that information overload can really derail you,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because you
Agreed.
start to second guess the things that you're doing, right? You start thinking you have to come up with new ways to do things,
Mm-hmm.
and you forget that the basics really still kind of work. Like your Arnold dictionary with
The
encyclopedia.
encyclopedia, yeah.
Okay, that guy got jacked before any of this existed,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like before your influencer had you doing this crazy move. So that's the boom. That's some of the
An
danger of
actual
knowing too
book,
much.
people.
Yeah, right. So it can get overwhelming. It
Yeah.
can get overwhelming if you know too much. And I
Right.
have this expression that I use it in my real profession, like with my people, and I use it here like, oh yeah, that worked so well we quit doing it. Yeah.
I take things like my hero here, my like Batman. And that is I like to have a plan for my plan. I like to have a backup plan. Like I'll give you an example. Our internet went down here. All right. And you if your internet goes down and you're relying on it for your job or your school or whatever, you've got to figure out how you're going to get back online.
Right.
And we went through 3 different internet companies within 2 weeks. And I'm still forcing management to get the coaxial cable fixed here because if my Verizon internet has a problem at some point, I need a backup. I need to be able to call Cox that day and be like, I need internet. Right?
Right.
So I treat my kind of fitness journey in a similar way. So I 100% agree with you that you can overdo it and that you're going to be like, oh, well, that guy over here says that this is better than what I'm doing. So I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to go do what he says to do. And you can completely destroy everything you've built because
Right.
this guy's just trying to get clicks. You're trying to build muscle. So
Right.
what I do is, and you guys can take it or leave it, but what I do is I literally sat down with this book and I said, okay, what's going to train this part of the bicep? What's going to train that part of the bicep? What's going to
Mhm.
train this? What's going to train that? And I looked and I went, okay, I can do that here at home. So let me write that down. That I need a gym for. So nope, not going to do that. That my shoulder will never let me do. So I'm going to cross that one off. I just kind of went
Right.
that way. And once I built a plan, I then decided, okay, now let's do it. And if anything wasn't working, then that was the time to swap it out and say, okay,
Right.
or if my shoulder was just like, this isn't cutting it, this isn't where, like, where you lay on your back and you take the weight behind you, the pullovers, like that. I just wasn't confident in it. It was stretching my shoulder really nice, but
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Well, even when you go to the gym, I have like the exercises I want to do, but I don't always have the machine available or the weight that I want available. It's a busy gym.
right.
Monday night at 6 o'clock, everybody's motivated,
Yeah.
right? It's the first day of the week. Everyone's like, I'm gonna hit it this week. And that's the worst time to go, but that's unfortunately when I can go,
Yeah.
right? On Monday at 6 o'clock. And so I gotta have a backup plan. Like if I can't get to this thing, I'm gonna do this thing instead and pivot here. Gotta have it.
I don't have that problem here.
No, you don't have that
I
problem
can
at
kick
home.
my kid off the weight bench. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you saw the video I posted. Like
I
that's
did.
what I had to figure out. Like how do I do a pull down? I put a towel on the door. I put my feet on the door. I sit down and I just use bands. I do pull down with
Yeah.
bands. I do rows on an incline bench. Because I
Yeah.
one armed I get sloppy. So
Yeah.
I have adjustable dumbbells. I have two sets of bands. I've got attachments and stuff. I mean, maybe with everything combined is probably just as much and will last a long time, just as much as 1 year of a gym membership.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So,
I get mine for free because I teach there. So I
there
get the
you go.
membership.
I like that.
But I have this stuff at home too.
Right.
And when I travel in my RV, my bands come with me. right? Some weights come with me. Stuff comes with.
I want to jump to the last thing here because, man, time has just been. I didn't even realize how
Oh
fast
man.
time goes. And I know I talk a lot. Uh, so I wanted to give you an opportunity, though, because you've got some stuff coming up that you're working on for your own YouTube channels and things of that
I
nature.
do.
And I want you to go ahead and talk to us about that, but also the whole reason why we did this first step deal is
Oh
because
yeah.
that's
Have we
literally
talked about that
kind of.
yet?
I really wanted you to get into like what it really means to take that first step, and a lot of people, for a lot of people, that first step is frightening. Whether it's
Yeah.
health, fitness, or personal life, professional life, it's taking the risk of taking that first step. So I want you to go ahead and tell us about what you've got coming up
Mhm.
and how you're taking those first steps and how that can help other people with what they want to do.
Sure. So thank you, by the way. So as I have as I have embedded myself in a community of wellness, I have found great value in hearing from other people. And I have hoped that maybe I have a message that I can share that people will find some value in. So I have decided to launch a podcast, and it is completely foreign territory for me. When you talk about fear and when you talk about risk, um, I'm not very accustomed to putting myself out there in the first place. I am not a technology whiz. I've had a couple of conversations with Pat, like, Pat, how do I even do this? Right. And it's a very daunting thing, but it is my hope that when you focus on, when I talked about bringing in a fast track client, I talked about focusing on the goal first and then talking about, the tasks and the behaviors.
Right.
So, what I've really decided is that I have to approach this the same way. I have to be less concerned about perfecting every task and really focus on the goal, which is to get a message out, right? To share my thoughts with people.
Right.
And I don't know if they can help one person or 10 people, but one will be fine, right? One will be fine because that's kind of the point. So, where I have struggled historically with everything, not just with this, is thinking everything has to be perfect before I launch.
Right.
You can spend a lot of time planning, but you got to get to doing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, you have to have some things in place, right? You can't just be entirely without a plan. I can't launch a podcast without some technology in place, with some bank of topics and ideas and conversations and episodes. But it just doesn't all have to be perfect in order for you to take the first step. And so I've dabbled in a couple of things in the meantime. I've done a couple of impromptu things that I've thrown up on a YouTube channel, really just to get myself acclimated to creating something and putting it out without over editing or work, because let's face it, I don't even really know how to do a ton of editing, right? So I think that's the key. I think the key in the first step is we hold back because we have this idea that it won't be perfect and we can't launch it till it is. You'll never launch it.
Right.
You'll never launch it if you're trying to be perfect. And when I say launch, I'm using that term in terms of a podcast or a media thing, but I'm talking about anything. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about your career, right? Whatever that is. I'm talking about asking that person on a date, right? For those that are listening or watching and you have kids, um, I would say a lot of us probably didn't feel necessarily ready to have kids. And whether planned or unplanned, you may not have felt ready. The kid came and you kind of just figured it out as you went along.
Right.
And you weren't perfect there either, right? Like, I'm certainly not perfect there. So that's what I got going on, Pat. I've got a show called Micro Matters, And basically, the idea that, some of the things that we do that seem small or irrelevant or simple can really have a big impact, more so than we realize sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a variety of topics, but generally focused on the wellness space, not necessarily exercise, right?
Right.
Kind of taking our pillars that we love: mindset, nutrition, fitness, sleep. I'm big on sleep,
Mm-hmm.
but also just daily habits, daily lifestyle things. The things that can either create a lot of anxiety or create a lot of joy in our lives. Those are the things that I want to unpack with people, because I really do believe we all have big moments that we remember in life, but it's the small things that we do every day. That's who we are.
Right.
That's what our life is made of. And that's just what I'm in the mood to talk about. And I hope some people enjoy it.
I'm sure people will. I know I will. And stay tuned. We will give you guys, all the Sims Nation, we'll give you guys more information about that when it becomes available. Everybody, it's funny, everybody that jumps on my shows ends up starting a show.
You are such a role model.
I'm an enabler.
You really are, though.
Well, I tell you what, guys. I mean, I think what we do here, and it's not just me, right? It's my son who joins me. It's my wife who joins me. It's all the guests we have. Jennifer, we got tomorrow. We got Benny Scala. We got Doc Haywood. We got my buddy Ashton Harris. Everybody who comes on here comes on with the intent of making you guys, your lives, a little bit brighter. One of the big things, one of the reasons I love morning shows and why I like doing the Saturday morning show, I like letting people start their day with something positive. There's so much wrong out there. There's so much negative out there. Let's give people a space where they can come and have fun and just forget about everything else. And even when we do stuff where we may give a negative review on things, we still try to do it in an entertaining way, right? Because you do an honest review show, you can't just do all good reviews. That gets a little boring. But yeah, that's it. And I think what happens is that becomes infectious. And I think I know for me, when I get done with a show, I want to do another show. I'm like, when can I do another show? Right. Today was great because I did another show. I did a show this morning and I'm like, I got another show coming. Right. And when we're done with this one, I got another show coming. I just got to go to bed. And when I get up, boom, I got another show.
Right.
So
and then, you'll just create a fourth one if you just need another one.
I have an idea.
I'm sure you do.
I do have an idea for the. In fact, what I kind of wanted to do, if this was my job, oh my God, I'd be so happy, because I could literally just separate all of my passions. I could literally have a show about pro wrestling. I could have a show about movies. I could have a show about health and fitness, like this show here. I could split everything up, and I literally could do multiple shows a day if this is what I did for a living, but it's
So
not.
what I'm hearing is you need to launch a talk radio channel of your own.
I'm going to keep
Really,
supporting.
what you got going on there?
I'm going to keep supporting WANT. I'm going to help build and grow WANT. I'm very, very happy with Ken and what they're doing. Ken and Wendy, what they're doing over there. And I was saying this the other day, like I'm proud of what we've done here with WANT. I was the first show to go live on WANT, and it's just been an incredible ride. Even when I couldn't do a live show, I had something in the can, taped and ready to go every Saturday morning. And because of the success that came from WANT and the confidence that gave me, it allowed me to push things forward and do more stuff. We have 2 shows on WANT, and we have 3 shows every week on YouTube, and it's been fantastic. And I really hope you have a lot of success with yours.
Thank you.
As they say in Pirates of the Caribbean, first to the finish, then. and
I,
which means that, you know,
yeah.
first one to be first one to be successful with their show wins. And I really do hope the best for you. I hope the best for
Thanks.
everybody that comes on here and does their thing. You know, whatever it is you want to do. I'm here to support anyone and everyone. I absolutely love it. Um, and guys,
There's space for everyone. There's space for everyone.
there is. I mean, it's shocking just to think that people want to tune in to listen to me on a regular basis, but there are people that do. And
Yeah.
tomorrow because it's a WWE preview show, we're probably going to have between 500 and 700 people jumping in and tuning in to tomorrow's show. That's incredible to even
That's
think
so
about.
cool.
But I want to start wrapping this up. I know it's super late for you. It's getting
Oh my
a
gosh.
little late for
Yeah.
me. We're going to be back on the air in just over 8 hours. We will be back on the air tomorrow. But I want to get some final words from you. What are some words of advice? What's some words of encouragement, inspiration for our Sims Nation before we go off the air tonight?
On any particular topic or
You have carte blanche.
Oof,
Whatever you'd like.
all the things.
I know, right?
I I think that kind of in the same vein as what we just talked about. I think it's important for you guys that are listening and watching to know that you really matter to someone. You never really know when you're inspiring someone. You know, it may feel unbelievable that, 5 to 700 people want to tune in, or just one person, really values what you have to say, but you have something to offer, and it matters,
Mm-hmm.
and you can inspire someone, and no matter where you are, and you don't have to be perfect to inspire someone. You are allowed to inspire someone while on your own journey just the same.
Yep.
So I am working to break out of this idea of perfection first, and I would encourage you to take that risk, do that thing. Don't worry about it. It won't be the first thing. You didn't get 100% right in your life, and you overcame all those other things. So take a chance on something, whatever that is for you. Take a chance on something, and know that someone else is noticing it and inspired by it.
I like it. I like it. It's a perfect segue into how we actually end the show. But every time someone says take a chance, I always hear take a chance, take a chance. But the segue I truly mean, guys, is how we close out Warriors Unleashed. It's my wish, it's my hope, it's my dream for all of you that by watching this show, you can get inspired to be that inspiration. So, guys, for my very special guest today, Jennifer Thomas, for myself, positively Pat Sims, I want to thank each and every one of you for jumping on and joining us here this evening. We had a pretty good turnout tonight. Pretty good for 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And we'll see where we are at the end of the weekend. But, guys, it's been absolutely fantastic. Great show. And, Jennifer, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure having you on. You did fantastic. Love the belt and the neon lights behind it.
Thanks. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me.
I think
I always love talking with you.
I think next time I'm going to have to switch, and I'll put myself on the left so that I can keep that lightning bolt from hitting my guests in the head. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us here on Warriors Unleashed. We'll see you tomorrow for the Positively Pat Sims show, where we preview WrestlePalooza. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
The lights are dim, but the room still hums of laughter and the moments we spun. Every honest word is like a stone in a stream. It rippled, it lingered, it shaped our dream. And if you ever wonder where I'll be, look to the screen, I'll be there, you'll see. Goodbye to the faces that stayed in the glow. Goodbye to the voices I always know. This isn't an end, just a bend in the road. Goodbye for now, my friends, my show. The cameras rolled and the stories grew. Each review a mirror of me and you. Through coffee stains and late night calls, we built a world behind these walls. And if you ever wonder